Ready to rock and roll. Ryan Wasson here with Anvil Customs. I wanted to show you a couple of parts that I sell on my website. I wanted to spotlight in this video seat hinges. In particular, my favorite seat hinge in the industry today, built by fabricator Kevin. In my opinion, it's the best seat hinge on earth. Comes in three different versions: a bolt-on, a weld-on, and another bolt-on that's a little different than what you've seen. It bolts onto the backbone. I'll show you the two bolt-on versions first. This is the regular bolt-on hinge that that he makes, and you can tell that it is polished stainless, that it is TIG welded. You can see the pretty little rainbow colors, just beautiful welds all throughout the hinge, even right there on the mounting bracket. He uses bronze bushings for a nice tight pivot. There is zero play. I mean zero play in the hinge, which means you're not going to have any wobble with your seat when you have it mounted on correctly. And then this is the backbone bolt-on hinge. Same hinge, except that the bolt-on adapter is a little bit different. The way it bolts onto the frame, it goes onto the spine of the frame or the backbone of the frame. So check this out right here. I'll just kind of pop this up like this if I can. So obviously it pivots, but you can see it's broke over so that it hugs the top of your backbone, and you would drill 2 holes in your backbone to bolt that sucker down. So, I mean, again, zero play. That's what you want out of a good seat hinge, is no wobble. You want a nice, tight pivot, and you're set. This is a big plus because it's just absolutely beautiful construction with the polished stainless, the TIG welds, the bronze bushings. And looks like it's roughly, I'd say, 7 gauge. And then this is the weld-on version. Same hinge. Same hinge. Same hinge, except it welds on. And you'll see no worries about the gas tank. It's not. That's just a primer. It's welded to the frame here. That's my beautiful weld job. Not as beautiful as Kevin's weld jobs that he does on his beautiful seat hinges that he builds with great pride. At any rate, check that out. That's the weld-on version. So again, come in 2 bolt-on versions and a weld-on version. You can get them off my website, anvilcustoms.com, under my seat mounting parts. So I'm going to show you how to mount up one of my seats to a bike frame. Real simple, using universal parts for my universal seats. All of my seats, doesn't matter what bike you have, you could put one of my seats on there. If you're just the least bit handy, if you can drive the motorcycle, you can mount the seat. I believe in you. So check this. So Charlie is going to help me mount the motorcycle seat.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so anyways, first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount these 3-inch springs. These are 3-inch coil springs I sell on my site. We're going to use my weld-on hinge that I've got already on my... Okay, so the seat is laying in my lap, if you couldn't tell what you were looking at right here. So I've got my 3-inch coil springs that we're going to use for mounting to the rear 2 threaded studs on the seat. And it takes a very special tool to get these mounted. It is just a wrench, and what happens is the end of the wrench is just too thick to fit right inside of here. So I I ground it down and made it real nice and thin as the handle is right here. So we're good to go. With my wrench and spring, I have a washer and a nut. The washer is for a 3/8 bolt, but we are using this 5/16 threaded stud off the bottom of my seat. And the reason why we use a larger washer is because you don't want it sliding through the eyes of the spring. Okay? Yeah, that's her, and I'm pretty proud of her. It only took me like 3 weeks to build her, but nonetheless, she's pretty smoking hot. Okay, so now I've got the springs installed to the bottom of the seat. It only took me about a day and a half to get the nuts started on the threaded studs. I mean, if you've got fat fingers, you're going to have some trouble. I'm just going to lay that out there for you. But be patient. Use, different things to hold inside of the spring and such to spin that nut on there. But okay, so now as far as the frame, obviously you need to mount the front of the seat using a seat hinge. You have to use a hinge if you're going to be running springs. So that way your front of the seat pivots. So the seat can go up and down as you're riding. The bottoms of the springs have to sit on something on the frame, not just the frame rail itself, but what are called spring bungs. And I have welded a pair of spring bungs that I do sell on my website under my parts page. This is just an option. I also have frame clamps if you don't want to weld. I also have a bolt-on version of these spring bungs. If you want a bolt-on version, that's cool too. So you check those out, and obviously the springs just sit directly down onto the spring bung, and you see that there's a hole for cotter pin to hold your spring down onto the bung. Not exactly necessary. Now the seat is mounted to the seat hinge. And simply put, all you're going to do is bolt it on. Take a couple of your nuts, and for this purpose I didn't use washers. A nice way to do this, if you'll notice, hey, they don't line up. What do I do now? I don't know what to do. I am going to die as I ride because all right, so this is okay. This is what you want. If they sat directly down onto the spring bungs, they would shift. They would squeak. You don't want that. So what I suggest is that you allow the seat springs to sit right behind. They come down, they sit right behind. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull them up. You're going to, with your hand, you're actually going to bend the spring. And now we're done. The seat is completely mounted to the frame. Real simple concept. The springs are nice and snug on the spring bungs. Got a little torque going in the springs. I don't know if you can even see the way they're kind of bent forward a little bit, which is what you